Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Digiday Studios at Possible 2026. I'm Michael Berge with Digiday, and I'm very, very happy to have with me Remy Stiles, who's the global CEO of Kepler. Welcome, Remy.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
It's great to have you here. Um, so, I wanted to describe you as an independent agency, but apparently that's not 100% correct.
Not
Can you clarify that?
Yeah, that is a common phrase that's used to describe Kepler, which I actually don't mind.
Sure.
So we roll into a company called KYU, which is the Western arm of Hakuhodo. So Hakuhodo started Q about 10 years ago.
Yep.
So we are part of that broader network and have the support and sort of benefit of being part of something bigger. We sit alongside really amazing sibling companies like IDEO, the famous innovation and design firm, and SY Partners of C-level consulting. But they let us run Kepler very autonomously. So, I think we sort of bring that indie spirit and energy. We are often grouped as one of the indies, which, again, we're okay with.
Fair enough. Well, listen, I think indies are definitely having a day again, as you see the holding companies consolidate and kind of gain more and more scale. There's something to be said for that contrarian approach, which is agility, nimbleness, flexibility.
Yep.
How are you finding that message being received out in the marketplace?
Yeah. That is our message. I think, we're all about really deep business partnership, which sounds basic, but it actually is one of the reasons we win pitches. I think if we're able to demonstrate in the room how deeply we can get into clients' businesses and really act as an extension of their team, put a lot of love and care into their business, it's why we win and it's why we keep clients. But then, the speed and agility and sort of flexibility and just really understanding our craft. I think we pride ourselves at Kepler of like deeply knowing media and not having to pass you to 5 people to get an answer and,
Right.
really having experts on the team.
So, speaking of your expertise, some people do think of you as kind of performance agency, but from us talking just before, you definitely want to convey that you are more than that. So, what are the hot areas that are areas of growth for Kepler?
Yeah, we are certainly good at performance. That's our root. Those are our roots.
Sure, that's the bread and butter, I guess.
It is our bread and butter. But I think everyone even this week has been talking about brand performance. We take a performance mindset to a full funnel approach. So even when we're running brand media, we're thinking about it from a performance perspective, ensuring it's measurable. And oftentimes we won a number of new agency of record engagements last year where there's not a brand team and a performance team. We're just running a marketing program for them and executing their media. And they're not thinking about it in those silos, which is actually smart, right? That's sort of how brands should be thinking about it.
Yeah.
And so as long as our media campaigns in totality are doing what we want them to do, that's sort of the goal at the end of the day. So, we're running a lot of full funnel media and a lot of retail media increasingly. So we're pretty deep in that space, working with, CPG brands and other retailers. Sometimes running just retail media and sometimes, again, doing full funnel, like everything from linear television down through their points of sale.
Well, that's a lot to be kind of expanding into, but yeah, retail media is a very hot space right now. I'm curious to what degree, and I'm very grateful to you for not having said AI just yet, but I'm going to say AI and ask you to what degree and how are you integrating AI into what Kepler does, is both internal facing and kind of how it interacts with clients.
Yeah. We're doing a lot in the AI space. Of course, we're doing all the things that everyone's doing internally from an efficiency and workflow perspective. So we have, enterprise-wide AI that, all of our teams are using for everything from email writing to media planning to, how we're updating our workflows. But we're really using it heavily on our own tech stack that we call KIP. And we're taking what we call a speedboat approach. So, versus sort of the bigger cruise ships that have lots of money but are taking a little bit longer to turn.
Yep.
And we're taking an approach where we have a whole part of our tech team that we're calling the Team Sigma that is purpose-built around just like launch the next thing, get it in market, prototype it, don't wait till it's perfect. Let's just move at the trends that we're seeing.
Interesting.
And then if it sticks, great. We're going to build it into our sort of, more stable tech stack.
Yeah.
One great example that we launched last year was a product that we call KIP Air, which is all about understanding AI relevance and resonance. So really how the LLMs are perceiving you, what they're saying about your brand, where you have opportunity areas or gaps, but then also, and this is where the Q Collective comes in, what do you go do about it, right? So a lot of the how you change perception in LLMs comes from content and PR and social strategies. And so that's where we can bring in our sibling partners to really help bring that to life for brands. But Kepler was just an idea that we saw an opportunity. This is going to be a big thing. Let's move fast. It started as sort of a nimble prototype, and it's like now has moved into a core part of our tech stack. But we're doing a lot of that sort of like rapid cycle testing.
Well, it sounds like that's one way in which you wave that independent flag is
Yeah.
the agility and speed that you're bringing to it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's really interesting. Remy Stiles, thanks for stopping by. It's great to see you, and enjoy the rest of Possible.
Thank you. You too.
Remy Stiles with Kepler.